Hello dear students, this is Sushma Singh and you are watching Booster Classes. Today I am back with the detailed analysis of yet another significant poem from CBSE Class 11 English book. The title of this poem is The Voice of the Rain, composed by Walt Whitman, the most influential American poet, better known as Father of Free Verse. Students, I would recommend you all to watch the video till the end. And for more updates, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. The Voice of the Rain is just a 12-line poem, but behind the apparent simplicity, this poem hides a deep meaning. So in this module, I will give you the essence of this lovely poem in a very lucid manner so that you can apprehend with ease its theme, the style and the tone of the poem, line by line explanation you will get over here. Not only this, we will also look at the poetic devices used in this poem, and of course there will be a few important questions for your comprehension check. Before I begin with the line by line analysis of the poem, let me give you its overview first. The Voice of the Rain is a lovely poem. Indeed, it is a celebration song of the rain. Here the poet has personified rain and he recounts a conversation he had with the falling raindrops. The rain itself is explaining to the reader about its origin, work and other details. This poem explores the face of rain as a life-giving force and an integral part of the circulatory energy that powers the universe. The rain is the report, this poem is actually the report of a conversation between the rain and the poet. The poet actually inquires of the rain, its nature, and the interpretation of the answer is presented to us with a framing commentary placed in parenthesis. As regards the style, we find that this short 12-line poem is written in free verse, meaning that it does not use a specific rhyme scheme, but it does have some slant rhyme. And considering the tone, we find that it has conversational and simple tone. Well, now let me annotate the first 4 lines for you. The opening line contains the poet's question to the rain. Being fascinated by the falling showers of the rain, which was producing soft music, the poet could not stop himself, asking the rain as to who or what it really was. The poet even seemed a bit surprised to discover that the rain responded to his question. This was because the poet actually, or he never expected the reply from rain, because we know that rain is non-living and cannot speak. However, to his utter surprise, the rain started to answer the question posed to it. Hence, the poet called it the voice of the rain. Now, in response to the poet's question, the rain that takes on a personified form throughout this poem declares itself to be the poem of the earth or the song of the earth. Now, this line is the most important line of the poem because it contains the extended metaphor where the comparison is done between rain and poetry, and thus this serves the crux of this poem. This extended metaphor is actually the crux of this poem. As we find that as the poem or song has the task of bringing love, joy and happiness to the life of its readers and listeners, similarly when the rain falls down, a rhythm of music is created and it also brings joy and happiness to the earth. Now, this line, the eternal I rise, actually through this line we'll come to know or indeed from the extended metaphor, we'll come to know that the life cycle and purpose of rain are very much similar to that of poem. The rain begins by describing each stage of the water cycle to indicate that it moves cyclically through the world. And in describing its own cyclical nature, the rain also illuminates the essential characteristics of poetry. The rain goes on to describe how it rises in its vapor form from the land and bottomless sea to the immeasurable height that is the sky in non-stop, silently and intangible manner. Now, though we are aware of the presence of the rain, the process, however, remains invisible to us. Hence, the rain has rightly called itself impalpable, because the word impalpable means something that cannot be felt by touching or seeing. Similarly, a poem can rise eternal and unperceived as it is a series of loosely formed thoughts or ideas of the poet. The rain has not, as the rain has not yet taken physical form, much like the initial thoughts behind a poem exist before taking shape on a page. The line upward to heaven. Here actually the rain is describing the next stage of the three stages of the life cycle of rain, that is condensation, from where it changes its form from vapor to water droplets of different sizes and becomes a cloud, which corresponds to the poet's scribbled draft. Now, both the poem and the cloud are altogether changed from their previous forms, yet they remain the same in the nature of composition because they are made of the same components as before. Water vapor in the cloud case and poet's initial ideas or thoughts in the poem's case. They change only their form externally, not in their essence or internally. Thus they remain the same at their core. And the line I descend to lave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe. Here the rain is indeed, as a matter of fact, it is describing its impact on the earth. Because it talks about its final stage over here, the point at which the rain falls down on the parched earth to quench its thirst, and its gentle and rain's gentle showers wash the layers of dust from the surface of the earth, giving a new fresh look to nature. Here, the rain also says that it is very crucial in order to purify the air on earth. Similarly, poetry has the cleansing and nourishing power. Line 8 of this poem emphasizes the crucial nature of rain. The rain further highlights its role as a life-sustaining force. It explains that it is necessary for the continuation of life on earth because without its help, seeds would have remained hidden and unborn inside the land. As a matter of fact, rain allows seeds to grow into plants, something that is vital and beautiful. And through this important nourishing role of rain, we the readers can actually tap the extended metaphor that is at the heart of this poem, the essential nature of poetry. Thus, we can say that the role of rain actually indicates that poetry also plays an important role in fulfilling and furnishing the heart of human heart and soul. And arriving at the end of the rain's description of the water cycle, the last two lines highlight that the cycle is never ending process. This cycle is never ending process. Thus, eternally, day and night, indeed round the clock, rain gives back life to its origin. And what is the origin of rain? Land and sea. Thus, it makes the earth pure, green, and beautiful. The glory of rain is always celebrated because it really freshens up and beautifies the earth. Indeed, it is a real benefactor of the earth. Similarly, song or poem does return to its birthplace, that is, poet's heart, and have a positive effect on its writer. It returns to the poet as love and appreciation of his readers. So by now, I think students, you all must have understood that leaving the first two lines, the remaining six lines of this poem form the response of the rain. Now, why you must be wondering now why the last two lines are put in parentheses. Now, this is because they are not the rain's words. They do not belong to the conversation between the poet and the rain. They are indeed a general comment by the poet, and hence they are in brackets. The poet is of the view or opinion, you can say, that there is a close similarity between the rain and the song, which is just another kind of poetry. He compares poetry to the rain. Indeed, the poet is equating art with earth's most essential element, which we have described here, the rain, or you can say nature. According to these lines, both the rain and the song start stemming from a birthplace. And after entering a period of fulfillment, they move into a period of wandering, eventually return to their places of birth with love. Regardless of how many people did or did not derive meaning from the poem, just like rain, poem returns to its origin with love, granting its creator a sense of satisfaction for having written it. Thus, it makes clear that both rain and poem not only do they share similar life cycles, but they are also acts of love and joy. The rain spreads greenery to beautify the earth, and it spreads happiness by giving life on the earth. In the same way, the song gives pleasure to the singer by bringing him appreciation and love of the listeners. It seems that their respective connections to the earth and to humanity are emotional rather than simply natural and unpreventable. Therefore, these last two lines, as a matter of fact, solidify the connection between rain and poetry. Considering the theme of this wonderful poem, we can definitely say that this poem, The Voice of the Rain, gives a hidden message that rain is all powerful and it is essential for the earth. The poet, by describing the eternal cyclic movement of the rain and its capacity to nourish and revitalize the earth, as a matter of fact, he wants to convey that rain is a life-giving force of the earth. The earth will lose all its beauty if there is no rain. The poet brings forth clearly the role of rain in sustaining and nurturing life on the earth. We must learn lessons from such eternal process of rain and nature, that is, to make no discrimination and to adopt universal brotherhood for the betterment of our society. Rain blesses everyone equally, inculcating values like love, care, and concern. This poem also highlights the nourishing nature of poetry because poem or song, just like rain, is an act of love and helps in sustaining and enriching its occupants just as rain helps the earth to flourish and grow. So this is what we are going to learn from the rain. To lend deeper meaning to this profound poem, the poet has used various poetic devices. In this line, students, you will get all the literary devices used here with examples and definitions. You can take a look at the use of metaphor, paradox, imagery, personifications, enjambment, assonance, even hyperbole, and the technique of inversion is used here. So simply note them down so that you can revise later on. Here are a few important questions from the poem. Try to solve them and deepen your understanding. I am extremely hopeful that you all must have got the in-depth explanation of this poem. For more updates, students, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and yes, don't forget to leave your valuable comments in the box below. And thank you for watching.